With the NCAA Women's Golf Championship slated for next month in Allendale, it's easy to think Michigan's tough winter might have caused problems at the Meadows, Grand Valley's golf course. But if you talk to course superintendent Ron Deline, you might come to realize the same heavy snow that covered your yard the last few months might be the reason why your grass looks so nice in the spring.
The biggest thing is if you could get the golf course to freeze before the snow comes, but being this close to the lake, it's kind of hard to do sometimes. We have some diseases that run rampant at about 32 to 36 degrees. So if the golf course freezes and then covers with snow, it's just a beautiful little ice box. Everything's sleeping. There's no activity at all going on. You have a little bit of damage underneath the snow with moles and things like that, but the grass itself really is put to sleep. The issue is if it's warm and we get a big snow and we get a big snow cover, then you get those diseases that run around in there, and then you're really trying to make up for it in the spring.
Deline has plenty of experience when it comes to the nurturing of big green areas. He was responsible for one of the courses at Egypt Valley Country Club before coming to Grand Valley a decade ago, and has had plenty of experience both there and at the Meadows in prepping courses for early season tournaments and championships.
You start preparing for this event a year out, actually. Things that we did is last fall, we didn't aerify our greens because we knew that we had too small of a window for full recovery. We wouldn't have them smooth. So we didn't aerify in the fall. We come in the spring, we make sure that they're ready to go. And the whole idea is to keep the ball from bouncing. So if it'll roll true, you can play with the green speeds a little bit as far as height the cut, how much you roll, but as long as that ball will roll true, that's really what you want to see. So everybody gets the same putting surface wherever they're at on the green.
When the Meadows was constructed in the early 1990s, it sat on wet, marshy land that seemed largely unsuitable for most other purposes on a college campus. But through the years of its existence, Deline and General Manager Terry Sack have slowly but surely implemented the steps that have allowed the course to regularly host the biggest event in Division II golf for men and women.
Yeah, absolutely. When the golf course was the original concept came up, that was one of the hopes and intentions of President Lubbers at that time, was that we did use this venue to host NCAA championships as well as local and state level competitions, and that once the first tournament took place out here, it became much easier as the NCAA came in and saw the quality of the operation, saw the quality of the support that the operation and the tournament gets from both the athletic department as well as the local community and people in the surrounding area. And really from that point forward, it's quite honestly become much easier to get those types of events.
One of the biggest improvements at the Meadows has been the redirecting of water that allows the course to stay dry and more playable. Another challenge for the championships has been to give added care to the areas most of the public never uses. The tournament layout for men's events requires the full length of the Meadows, while the course used for the women next month will be more similar to what the public plays.
In the spring, we don't have the tall grass. We are the Meadows, so that tall grass, that heather that we have out here, is intimidating. You get in July and August, September, the middle of the season towards the tail end, you want to play in the closely mowed surfaces, but it's intimidating to see that tall grass out there, so it maybe changes the way you play the game. In the springtime here, these ladies are going to come through the door, and that's not going to be a factor because it'll just barely start to grow. And if they hit their ball in it, they'll still be able to play out of it. So what we try and do is, the course has been lengthened out a little bit. We'll come in now and maybe hole location will be a little bit more of a key now too, so it doesn't play as easy as it looks, let's put it that way.
I think for this championship they have the yardage at just over 6,100 yards, and that's a long golf course, and that will that yardage was put in mind to kind of help bring some of those landing zone characteristics back into where the women are going to be hitting the golf ball to, making sure that they can't fly it over bunkers, make sure that they have to maneuver around things that were designed into the golf course. So that has definitely been thought of as the yardage was set, and as distance has increased for young players.
It's been said a good golf course superintendent is like a good baseball umpire or a basketball referee. You tend not to notice them when things are going good. And when the Women's NCAA Championship is held next month at the Meadows, that will likely be the case for Ron Deline. the man who oversees the acres of green space on the eastern edge of campus that by comparison makes the grass at adjacent Lubbers Stadium look like a tiny backyard. For the Grand Valley State Sports Report, I'm Tom Cleary.